Hello, Pep. Have you managed to have any sleep yet?
Yes.
How difficult is it for you as manager over these next couple of games to try and balance the idea of maybe giving some of your players, who are obviously very tired as well, a little bit of a rest, but also making sure they'll be switched on fully when it comes to the finals you've got coming up?
The two teams will have to play in the Premier League. Brighton and Brentford deserve all our attention and credit, and we have some players with some niggles. And of course, the finals is the main target. But to play as best as possible, you have to start completely focused on these two games, because they are really good teams, and we have to do it.
We saw the likes of Calvin Phillips and Julian Alvarez starting against Chelsea the other day. How much of an influence do you think players like that could have from now till the end of the season on what happens for Manchester City?
Everyone, they influence everyone, because sometimes 5 minutes is as much important as the rest of the minutes. So everyone have been involved, playing more minutes than less minutes, but everybody has been involved. For the fact that we are where we are.
And as far as Brighton are concerned, obviously they've had a fantastic season, European football for them next year. How impressed have you been by the job that Roberto De Zerbi has done since he's come in?
A lot. So congratulate for Brighton for this incredible achievement to get in this league, the Europa League. I think it's Roberto's one of the most influential. What pay attention I'm going to say, because I'm pretty convinced I'm right what I'm saying, is one of the most influential managers in the last 20 years. There is no team playing in the way they play. It's like it's unique. I had the feeling when I arrived, the impact it would have in the Premier League would be great. I couldn't expect to do it in this short of time. He created 20-25 chances on average a game. He's better by far than all the opponents. He monopolized the ball in a way like I've never been for a long time. Everybody's involved. The keeper is like a holding midfielder. And if you don't play at a high level, he can do whatever you want and against you, against all opponents, and they deserve completely the compliments and the success that they have. Is one of the team. I try to learn a lot. It's unique. It's like a Michelin star restaurant. Like, it's unique. You know that when you were in Catalonia, it was El Bulli, the Ferran Adrià, the best cook for many years, and he changed completely the cuisine, and I think Brighton is playing is something unique. It's special, the way they move, the way they do, and it's a good, incredible challenge for us to prepare the two finals. Absolutely.
Pep, the two teams that you play now, they use a data-driven model when it comes to recruitment of their players, and many people would look at the size of those clubs and think they are far overachieving what the size of their club should be. What is your view of this kind of data analysis and how deep it can go to analyse players?
It looks like it works. So yeah, both teams. Brentford is completely different the way they play than Brighton, but what they do is excellent, exceptional. I think both teams here, we won Brighton, but the second half were much better than us, and we suffered a lot. And Brentford, they beat us fairly before the World Cup game, and both in different styles, they do really well. At the end, you have info, so no, for the devices, but of course, they cannot. This analysis they cannot give you as a person, as a mentality, he will set for the way you play, because it can work for the one manager, but maybe not for the other one. So they have to be related for the idea, for the club they have, or the manager they have, because the other is just numbers. But it works. It's more info. You know, there is something like you have to smell it, and the other is the facts and numbers that can help you to have more info. And both clubs accept.
And just in terms of these next 2 games for your players. I can't imagine motivation is a problem for you, but players would naturally be a little conservative about going in for really, really tough tackles, knowing if anything went wrong, they could get injured for a final Champions League final. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, that is right. If I prefer to be already champion, but maybe it would be to be ready commit against United and Inter de Milan, to be already in contention to win the Premier League, will be there, but it's normal. So they had a party after the game against Chelsea. I don't know how they will feel tomorrow, but you have to do it. Otherwise, we will run a lot, we will suffer a lot, and I think the best way to prepare the finals is be still ready. You have to. We have a days off. We have a relax in the training session, but the moment you have to play, this player set one type of standards, and you have to maintain it. So otherwise, it will be more difficult for the finals. It's normally we're going to drop, because we have an incredible amount of energy, spend a lot of energy the last month, a lot. It's not just. So Arsenal play for just the Premier League. We have the FA Cup, we have a Champions League, Bayern Munich in Madrid. Being behind Arsenal, we have to knowing the game, the energy we spent was massive. And now, once we lift the trophy, so it's normal you drop. It's normal. But you have to avoid it,